U.S. Air Force jets on standby. Next move, up to Saddam. Extraordinary testimony on Capitol Hill at the Gates confirmation hearings. And charges of radioactive waste spilling from an atomic bomb plant. This is the CBS Evening News. Dan Rattle reporting. Good evening. Is the United States going back to war with Saddam Hussein? The short answer tonight appears to be no, or at least not yet. The State Department has now begun saying the focus has shifted to diplomacy, backed up, of course, by a military threat, as President Bush tries to force Saddam to allow inspections of Iraqi weapons sites. David Martin is at the Pentagon.
On a political swing through the West today, President Bush said he has not yet seen any sign of a response from Saddam Hussein to the UN demand that inspectors be given free run of Iraq to search for weapons of mass destruction.
Haven't heard anything today.
The Iraqi response was expected to come in a letter to the President of the UN Security Council, possibly as early as today.
Do you know that there was no deadline for the answer? But it was indicated that we were waiting for it, and we were hoping that it would be as quick as possible.
At Langley Air Force Base in Virginia, U.S. warplanes remained on standby.
Like I say, have the backpack, you're ready to go at any time. That's basically what we're here for.
If Saddam refuses to let the UN inspectors go anywhere they want, the U.S. plans to send about 60 airplanes to Saudi Arabia to escort UN helicopters on inspections inside Iraq. But for the moment, it's a waiting game.
There are no troops moving. Nobody's going anywhere.
Official Iraqi statements accuse the U.S. of trying to fabricate an excuse for attacking Iraq again. But those statements stopped short of saying Saddam would not comply. No matter what the Iraqis do, the Bush administration will send Patriot air defense missiles to protect Saudi bases against any Iraqi Scud missiles which might have survived the war.
It would only be prudent to assume that maybe somewhere Iraq has stashed a Scud missile or two.
The first real test of what Saddam plans to do could come as early as tomorrow, when a team of UN inspectors is scheduled to go into Iraq to search for biological weapons. Dan?
Thanks, David. Now, in an effort to put events in context and perspective, back with us tonight, and we're glad to have him. At our Middle East map is the one-time commander of U.S. forces in the Gulf region, retired U.S. Marine General George Crist. General, thanks for being with us. If Saddam Hussein does not allow these inspections, what can President Bush do?
At that point, Dan, I think that the president will deploy a carefully tailored package into Saudi Arabia. Perhaps 2,000 plus troops, 100 aircraft, heavy-lift helicopters. He'll put them on the ground to show Saddam that we have a credible military capability to support the UN inspections anytime and anywhere they want to go, no matter what Saddam thinks about it. Now, then I believe there's going to be a little bit of a lull while we step back and see what Saddam's reactions are.
And if Saddam still doesn't back away?
Well, at that point, I believe they'll pick one or two of the 45 identified sites and make a no-notice inspection. Now, that means putting UN inspectors on board U.S. military helicopters along with soldiers. Soldiers are needed to protect them if they get in trouble on the ground. They'll be accompanied by aircraft, which will take down any fire from the ground, as well as support the people who have landed. Now, if nothing happens, it goes off smoothly, then I think things will rapidly de-escalate. However, if we get into a shooting match in this thing, then I think it's going to escalate pretty fast.
And how long will it take to put all this together?
Well, Dan, from the go order, it's going to take at least 2 weeks, and I think perhaps closer to a month. There's a little bit of difference here in that we have to be working with UN inspectors, and they're going to decide where they want to go and what they want to see.
General Crist, thanks. While President Bush was threatening Saddam again with military action, his representatives at the United Nations were voting to ease the trade embargo against Saddam Hussein. The UN Security Council today approved a plan to let Iraq sell $1.6 billion worth of oil. The proceeds are supposed to be used for food, medicine, and war reparations. Pro-Iranian kidnappers in Lebanon are now saying, once again, they will not free any Westerners until Israel releases more Arabs. The statement tonight was accompanied by a photograph